like to tell myself the story about how the Ducati Diavel came to be. The Italians decided they would make a cruiser to sell to the Americans, decided on the back set handlebars, the low seat, took a break, went for lunch, had a couple of bottles of vino, came back and immediately reverted type. Which explains why the Ducati, they put a superbike grade suspension on it, a superbike frame, a superbike motor, and they were like, okay, so that's a power cruiser then. So that explains a lot about the Diavel, and of course, being Italian, once you've made a mistake, the only respectable way forward is to double down on that mistake. And what you get as a result is this new 2019 Diavel that now has a lighter frame, a sharper rake, a bigger rear tire, and of course a lot more power. While the ex-Diavel tried to refocus the initial effort of building a cruiser, this 2019 Diavel 1260S takes the haphazard beauty of the original Diavel and doubles down on it. Make no mistake, the 2019 Diavel is no facelift retuck. It's a brand new motorcycle. It's got a new short stroke 1260 DVT from the Multistrada and the ex-Diavel, churning out north of 150 fine-bred Italian horses. And not to forget that all-new chassis and a new aluminium swing arm. Let's start then by talking about the new 1260cc Testoretta DVT motor from the Multistrada that now finds its way into the Diavel 1260S. Aside of course from the 7 additional horsepower and 6 additional torques, this also brings variable valve timing to the table. The result is a mental 157 bhp, 129 Nm motorcycle that delivers over 100 Nm of torque right from 3500 rpm. Which means when you open the throttle, this 244 kg motorcycle executes a vendetta on inertial physics and sucks in the horizon, leaving your eyeballs scrambling to adjust. Another thing I noticed that by Ducati standards, the Diavel 1260's motor is genuinely a lot more refined. There's very little to report in terms of vibrations even when you're being a ham-fisted oaf on the throttle. Filtering this truckload of power onto the tarmac is Ducati's extensive onboard electronics suite that has 3 basic riding modes: urban, touring and sport, each of which is further customizable for traction, wheelie control and cornering ABS. This all comes thanks to the 6-axis IMU controlled by Ducati's in-house Evo electronic suite that allows for 8 levels of traction control, 8 levels of wheelie control and 3 levels of cornering ABS. Once you're in the saddle, the first thing you're going to notice is that how light this 244 Ducati is on its feet. This comes thanks to a sharper rake and a massive 240 section rear tire. In fact, this is the fattest rear tire ever to be fitted to a production motorcycle. What this means is that there's plenty of contact even in the most tight corners. Another thing that makes riding it all the more fun, especially on this S model, is the Olin shocks and the M50 monoblock Brembo calipers, up from M432s on the standard. All of this inspires confidence and lets you really push the envelope on this 244 kg motorcycle without really realizing how heavy it is. And that was our review of the 2019 Ducati Diavel, and while it may not still be a cruiser in the strictest sense of the word, or for that matter a superbike, it is a hell of a lot of fun to ride and it looks absolutely mind-blowing. So what you're paying for in reality is an absolutely one-of-its-kind machine, and that's what has set the Diavel apart so far and still will.